But then after that, you went to Hollywood?
I did. You know, I told my parents, I said, I'm going to go to Hollywood to make movies. And my parents, you know, most parents would say, are you insane? You can't do that. You don't have any, you know, money. And they didn't know, but they were just like, okay, and let us know when some of your stuff is on TV. You know? But they were like totally, they were naive. They were more naive than I was maybe, but they were just like, okay, sounds good. And my dad said, you know, son, he said, in a very southern drawl, you know, son, he said, when I went off to college, my dad gave me $20. He said, so here's $40.
For inflation, right?
And I had saved about $1,700. I'd worked at a couple of odd jobs, you know, out of high school or in the summers. And so I bought a plane ticket, and I enrolled in a school called Columbia College, which is sort of like Full Sail. It's in Tarzana, California, and they teach film production. They don't teach recording arts, but they teach film production, television and film production. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of fun behind the camera as a kid, and so I really wanted to study cinematography. And so that I went out to study cinematography, but then I soon ran out of money, and I soon had to drop out of school, and so a lot of good school didn't. But the nice thing about it was I worked on, for 2 years, all the students, I knew them all because we all lived in the same apartment building, a lot of students. And every student film that was being made at the school, I was helping on in some way, either loading magazines for the camera, loading film, or being the still photographer on set, or doing something, just gripping or something. Yeah.
Is networking pretty important here too? I think. So, how many of you guys have been to Hollywood? Yeah, okay, a pretty good few of them.
How many of you have been to Hollywood in 1978?
Was it different then?
It was creepy.
Creepy?
Well, I mean, it was weird. It's weird now, but it was really weird.
Yeah, so you dropped out of school, and that wasn't necessarily seeming like a really good turn in your career path, and you're out here in Hollywood trying to find a job, trying to keep...
Almost got kicked out of my apartment twice, and the landlord was like, you haven't paid your rent. And I said, I can't afford it anymore. He says, well, let me move you. He was a nice guy. He said, and let me move you to a cheaper apartment. So I went from an apartment that cost $160 a month to an apartment that cost $85 a month. You can imagine it wasn't like the Ritz or anything.
Still typical prices in LA, yeah.
It's clean, it was okay, I guess. But
how did you pay the bills then?
So I finally got a job at a place called New World. The New World, it was a head shop.
What's that?
You know what a head shop is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a place that sold drug paraphernalia. And they were legal in California. Then they became illegal at the time, but they were legal in California. And so all of my, all the people that I would meet from the day-to-day basis, they were either prostitutes, drug dealers, or porn actresses, or just different, your regular slice of life in Hollywood sort of people, and bikers, a lot of bikers, Hell's Angels. That's where I got my first pair of Ray-Bans like this from Hell's Angel, and it was, he left them in the store, and 30 guys came up on motorcycles, and one of the guys left his Ray-Bans just like these on the counter. And I'm like, I'll just keep these in case he comes back. I'll give these to him. And a few years later, I had a motorcycle of my own, and they were in my pocket, and they fell out and smashed on the road. But I still like them. Yeah. So I've always worn those ever since then. I like those.
Bikers can't hold on to those Ray-Bans, huh?
They can't.